Hey, I just want to let you guys know I checked out the Lies of P demo and I wanted to give you guys my thoughts on it a bit. Lies of P is a new Souls-like game coming out on September 19th, and it's a new Souls-like that takes the story of Pinocchio with its own unique dark twist to it. The first thing I noticed is the game has a very much Bloodborne feel to it, from the dark atmosphere to even the UI, with the health and stamina bar system. Very similar and looks just like Bloodborne. The first area outside also reminded me of Central Yarnum, and even some of the enemies, like how they were sleeping on the ground. In this game and in Bloodborne is very similar, but I don't mind that. It just gave me a Bloodborne feel, and it kind of brought me back home, to where it all started for me. It even has the same dodge and quick step mechanics as Bloodborne. So like you quick step enemies, like if you're locked onto them. If you're unlocked, you'll do a roll instead. If it already wasn't enough like Bloodborne, it also has a rally system. So if you get hit in this game, if you block, you do take chip damage. But if you attack, you can get some of your health back, which is actually pretty nice. Overall, I think the combat's pretty sweet. The game isn't as fast as you think, though. I know I was referencing Bloodborne a lot there, but it doesn't feel like that. It feels a bit slower. I would say, for me personally, it kind of feels more like Dark Souls 1 combat, maybe not as clunky, so I don't want that to scare you away. I'm not saying it's like slow and bad and clunky like DS1, but it kind of has that feel to it. But it's obviously more optimized, a little bit faster, but that's kind of what I felt from it. But there is also a parry system in the game, and the parry system is really similar to Sekiro. You're using your sword or your weapon to like pretty much perfect parry. You have to tap the button, the block button, like right at the point of contact, and you'll see the sparks fly and things like that. And Pinocchio in this game also has a prosthetic arm, a metal arm that he uses to parry with. It's really cool though, because he also, just like Sekiro, you get different things for it. So Pinocchio gets like different arms, he gets attachments to his arms and things like that that'll help him out throughout the playthrough. They did a good job of putting their own twist on it. It's pretty cool. It is a Souls-like, as you can imagine. It took a lot of inspiration from many of the FromSoft games. One feature I really do like that's in the game is that there is a weapon durability mechanic in this game. So if you attack enough and block enough, you'll see that your weapon durability goes down, and the game will show you that, hey, like your weapon is about to break or it needs to be repaired. But the cool thing about it is you can actually you don't have to like go back to the hub and repair it, or go to somebody to repair it. Pinocchio can actually do it himself. You can actually take your blade and sharpen it on Pinocchio's metal arm, like even mid-combat. It's pretty sick. It looks really cool. I kind of like that. I did notice that, sometimes throughout boss fights, if that happens, it can be a little problematic to find time to charge it, but it's in the game, so I'm sure they were aware of that, so you'll have time to do it. It's just, I kind of found that a little annoying, but overall I think it's a really cool mechanic. The weapon system is pretty neat as well. At the beginning of the demo, they gave you three different options to choose from. You could choose Dex, you could choose Balance, or you could choose Strength. My first character that I use Strength. I love power builds and just being able to brute force my way through. And they're all very viable though, because I did try all three, but Strength was really good. Dex was the best in my opinion. Dex was really good. I decimated things really fast. He has like a rapier. It was really nice. The other one is Balance, which is kind of like a bit of Dex and a bit of Strength. It was kind of weird, like the attack swings and things. Like I didn't really like the range of the weapon, but it definitely has its use for, I'm sure a lot of people will like that build if they can't choose between Dex and Strength, or they want a little something in between. But it literally feels like, hey, like choose one, Dex or Strength. That's kind of what the weapon feels like. It's like the person who's indecisive and couldn't choose which one they wanted. So it's pretty cool. And there's a ton of other weapons in the game as well that I picked up during the demo. So there's going to be tons of viable options. But each weapon also has special abilities, and basically underneath your stamina bar you'll have a blue bar, and you can build up that blue bar by attacking enemies, and once that bar gets full you'll be able to use some of your specials. So I thought that was a pretty cool add-on as well. Another cool feature of the game is that you can actually swap weapon handles in this game, and what I mean by that is if you get different weapons in this game, you'll be able to like take off the handles, the hilts, and he attach them to any other weapon that you already have. So if if I went dex build out the rapier and I wanted to attach like my strength weapon, a hilt, to the rapier, I could do that, and now I have a different move set. It's more powerful, things like that. So that's a pretty cool new unique thing that I haven't seen before. So I'm really curious to see how they're going to implement that and how it's going to work out with like your builds and things like that. But from the demo, being able to do that, I thought that was pretty neat. I was on the PC and it ran smooth as butter, and it just looks amazing. It looks great. So many people in my chat, they were just like, man, this game looks so good. And like that was just how it looked. It was captivating everybody. It didn't have like any bugs or glitches or things like that. It just ran nicely. It felt like the actual game was already out, and we're still 3 months away from it. So that's very promising. There's so much more to this game, but I just want to give you guys a little quick assessment on my thoughts about it, in case you're on the fence, or if you weren't sure about this game at all. But I'm personally very excited for the full release. If you're a Souls-like fan, or if you're a Souls fan rather, I think you will enjoy this. If you're not a Sekiro fan, I think you can still enjoy it, because even if you like don't parry in this game, or you're not comfortable doing that, you can still dodge, and you have decent iframes using the dodge and quick step mechanics, so you'll still do just fine. So I don't want that to keep you from trying it or playing it. I did notice the parry time in this game though is very tight. Like you have to be absolutely perfect. There's like no extra frames on it. So maybe they'll adjust the timing a bit. And also I feel like the parry system isn't rewarding enough. Like it's not worth it to do it, because if you miss, obviously you're taking a lot of damage there. But you can stagger enemies. You pretty much stagger them by parrying them enough, and then you can like do a supercharge attack and you can get a repulsion stuff on them. But the swings of the enemies and bosses in this game is kind of like Elden Ring. They're very omega delayed, or they might be super quick. It's really hard to read movements in this game, so it makes parrying really, really tough because you have to be perfect. But I mean, that just means you got to play it a lot and probably die a lot to get the timings down, which is fine. I'm all about that. So but yeah, once again, Lies of P's is set to release on September 19th, and I'm really excited to play it. It's a refreshing Souls-like game and it feels great. So yeah, I hope my thoughts of the game helped you guys out today. If it did, please hit that follow button. I really appreciate it. And if you guys have any other questions or anything else about the game, or you just want to chat as well, about your experiences, feel free to leave it in the comment section below and I'll get back to you. But yeah, until next time, YouTube, peace out.